What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are in fantastic days today. Today I have a very exciting video for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, NG Models has completely dropped the bomb here in September of 2023 as they have announced not one, not two, not three, not four, not so on and so forth, 16 brand new molds. And man, we have a bunch to cover in today's video. I hope that you guys are excited for this. Let's go ahead and get started. Man, how do you even begin with 16 new mold samples? This is just something absolutely incredible. I can't give a big enough shout out to Yesterday's Airlines for covering this, not only on his social media platforms, but also on Model Airliner Forum. You can check the link in the description. There's a really great thread on it with a bunch of really good critical thinking about all the airlines that people would like to get to see done, and just the molds in general. There's a bunch of really good talk here, and we'll assess it in this video. But if you'd like a more in-depth look or also to go communicate with it, definitely check out the link in the description. And again, huge thank you to Yesterday's Airlines. Check out his website and all of his social media platforms. Really great work that he does over there. But nevertheless, guys, 16 brand new molds from NG. So if you guys have been around for a while, back in 2021, NG Models announced 10 brand new molds and those sprinkled out over time. But man, 16 is just a whole new step. And I don't even know where you fathom this. I was talking to B767 about this earlier today, and he really said it well. This is really a historic event here in the model aircraft landscape. It's really crazy because obviously, Gemini jets, JC Wings, Phoenix, Aviation 400, you've never seen any of them do 16 at once. Tops 2 or 3, you've never seen 16 at once. So the fact that NG Models is just going to drop the bomb and do 16 right here, right now, is surreal. It's really crazy to think about, and it's historic. Like he said, I'm really excited for the community. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. 10 was already crazy enough. That's double digits. And you know, the different part about that is those sprinkled out over time. This is sprinkling out right here, right now. And obviously, the model aircraft themselves, the models themselves will start to roll out. You know, it's going to take some time, obviously, but the fact that we got 16 announced at once is crazy. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of referring here to the thread on math because it's really good and there's a bunch of great critical thoughts here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So Yesterday's Airlines is taking the mold samples to the Amsterdam Aviation Collectible Fair, which is taking place as we speak. It looks really fun. Hopefully maybe one day I'll get to attend. We'll see. But yeah, a bunch of really fun predictions here that people gave out. And let's go ahead and get started with the first two, and we'll just go one by one. So the first one that NG is starting with here is the brand new Airbus A330Neo molds in 1:400 scale, the Airbus A330Neo 800 and the A330Neo 900. So this is a really good choice for them, and Richard does a really good job here referring to who's made one of these scales. So again, huge thank you to him for providing that complimentary information so that we're aware of what's going on. So let's take a look at this. So these are the first samples for the Airbus A330Neo for them, obviously. So they'll be joining Aviation 400, JC Wings and Gemini jets, and Phoenix for the 900, and then JC Wings and Gemini and Phoenix have the 800. So Aviation 400, of course, has the 900, and then the other two have the 800. So yeah, they're certainly joining some competition here, of course, but I think competition brings the best out of everybody. And these samples look really good. We'll take a more in-depth look at them at the end of this thread. There's a bunch of really good pictures that we'll see, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, this is really exciting. I think this is a great choice for NG. I think this is going to provide quite a bit of options here. Obviously, there's a bunch of carriers in Europe that have these. Already getting a couple here in North America as we speak. So it's going to be really excited to see how they utilize these. There's also a couple in Asia as well. So there's certainly plenty of potential with these molds. And I think this is a good job to expand on their Airbus A330 offerings. So this is going to be really exciting. And I think that these will be great molds. And we'll give a more in-detailed analysis of the actual mold samples themselves once we find them here later in the thread. So looking at some reactions, everybody was kind of excited about this. Obviously, you know, it's a little bit different since there's not quite as many options for the 330Neo yet, at least, but I still think it's a good choice, and I think it'll be really good. So for the most part, everybody was fairly in favor of it. You know, there is some good points here. JJ makes it a good point here about redundant, but you know, what can I say? So, and then here's yet another good analysis here for Yesterday's Airlines on that. But then we go into the Airbus A340 getting done here by NG Models in 1:400 scale, the Airbus A340 200 and Airbus A340 300. So yeah, really cool to see this. I think they're joining Phoenix. Let's see. So the A340 has a decent amount of molds over the years, mostly pretty good. Not a massive representation recently though. So the active existing molds, according to Yesterday's Airlines, includes Aero Classics, Aviation 400, JC Wings, Gemini, and Phoenix. So, and by the way, for anybody curious, Gemini jets and JC Wings do share the same molds. So JC Wings is pretty much the parent company of Gemini Jets when it comes to what aircraft choices they have. So when you see the slash there, they share the same molds for the most part. So we can make a more in-depth video about that at a later time, but that's just a clarification for anybody wondering. But the flat out legitimate molds for just individual companies: Aero Classics, Aviation 400, and Phoenix. So Phoenix has certainly been the most active in utilizing their mold, but we have seen a couple over the years from Gemini Jets has done a couple, JC Wings uses theirs quite a bit, Aviation 400, of course, and then Aero Classics. So yeah, really cool to see this. I think this is going to be really great. They have certainly plenty of choices. I think what's going to be the big standout here for NG models, though, with this mold particularly, is the quality diversity that they'll add. So the A330Neo has a bunch of really good quality molds. I think the Phoenix one's pretty good. In fact, I have one right here on my desk. You haven't seen this mass unboxing yet, but here's the Azul 330 Neo, and this is really, really nice. So Phoenix has a really good mold. I think the Gemini Jets one's pretty good. Of course, you got the Aviation 400 one that's also really solid. But then you look at the 340, the Phoenix one's good, but then after that, you're like, the JC Wings one's okay. I think it's decent. I think it gets the job done. And then the Aero Classics one, you can make the argument about aerials and go into detail on that. It's certainly a subjective topic, but in terms of, pure out quality, I think NG's certainly going to take the cake on this one. I'm really excited to take a look at the sample here in a minute. So this is really great, and let's take a look at some of their reactions. So I think everybody's pretty excited about this. Obviously requesting particular aircraft and airline combos. So it's really exciting, and I'm eager to see how they're going to utilize this. So here you go with JJ. Now we're talking. So there you go, and it only gets better, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next one. So a bunch of really good discussion here. I appreciate everybody that's contributing here on MAF. It's a really fun place. I wish I had some more time so I can interact as well, but you can just see here's some really good airline combo examples here. Thank you to Oscar Bravo 992 for sharing some of these, and credit to all the respective photographers. But plenty of Cathay Pacific examples, Philippine Airlines, another good one, China Eastern. So there's more than enough opportunity with the A340, 200, and 300, and I'm excited to see how they utilize that. So that's going to be very exciting. And of course, the engine types are also big ones as well. So it's very cool to see that they're getting after that. Back in the 1 to 400 scale, once again, let's go ahead and get started here with the Boeing 737 MAX 7 and MAX 10. So a very logical extension off their Boeing 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9 that they've done previously. This is exciting. I think they're going to do a really good job. So it only made sense, in my opinion, to expand into both these realms, as obviously there's been quite a bit of competition for the MAX 8 and MAX 9, but when it comes to the MAX 7 and MAX 10, none have been done in 1 to 400 scale. So how cool is this? Yet, at least. Of course, Gemini Jets will stomp on it really fast, but really exciting. I think Phoenix might have a MAX 10, but not many, pretty much is the point here. So this is really exciting. I think they're going to do a really good job. Of course, for the MAX 7, there's quite a few orders in already, including Southwest Airlines, and then for the MAX 10, there's a bunch of orders in for these. I think both Delta and United have orders for those too, and I apologize, my international representation on order knowledge isn't great. I think Qatar might have some orders for the MAX 10, and some other carriers I really don't have any idea, so I apologize. But nevertheless, the MAX 10 certainly has a bunch of orders, and I think the MAX 7 will continue to get there. So this is really exciting. More of a long-term mold investment here, but I think it makes a bunch of sense considering the fact that these are going to be flagship aircraft going forward. Of course, the MAX 8 and the MAX 9 will lead the way for the most part in terms of the quantity, but I also think there'll be plenty of options for the MAX 7 and MAX 10, and you already have it, so you might as well. I think the MAX 7 looks really cute, honestly, to be quite honest, with the engines and everything. I think that looks really cool. So, and then the MAX 10, you can't forget about the MAX 10. It's going to be pretty much a 757. I'm really excited for that. Maybe a 300. I don't know what the seating capacity is, but it kind of looks like a mesh of the 200 and the 300. So this is really cool and really awesome to see that. That's absolutely awesome. So I think everybody is really on board with this. This thread, it kind of, there's a bunch of talk about everything. So it's certainly interesting because obviously you're talking about multiple molds at once here. So I apologize if it gets a little out of hand here with regards to the chronological flow, but for the most part, it appears that everybody was a big fan of the 737 MAX choices. So that's absolutely awesome. As we continue to progress, here we go into some big ones here for our retro collectors. The Boeing 747-200 with the General Electric CF6 engines. This is a big one, guys. A bunch of people, obviously really want these 200s for the 747 with the particular engine type. So it's really cool to see that. NG is hitting it right on the mark here. So this is really cool. Let's see. I'm trying to see. I don't think really anybody's done the General Electric CF6 engines. I'm not seeing anything regarding anybody that's done the 200 with these engines. I'm sure there might be a few, but this is big because, you know, there's no really solidified 747-200 mold in 1:400 scale with these engines, to my knowledge. I could be completely wrong on that. The retro department's not completely my forte when it comes to knowledge, but this is a big one, and there's a bunch of detail to be had with this aircraft. So of course, not only the engines, but you know, the metallic bellies are really big on this aircraft, including this Lufthansa example. Of course, the little details with the antennas and the nose shape and all those small details are really going to add up to make this a great mold. So it's going to be exciting to take a look at the sample, and this is going to be awesome. So that's really exciting, and JJ's certainly very excited, along with everybody else, including Reggie Hunt and many others. So that's absolutely awesome. So yeah, this is going to be really cool, and I'm excited to see how this is going to be utilized. So that's absolutely awesome. So the fun continues here with NG models. Let's see what we have up next. And there's a bunch of really good breeding to be done here, and here's some really good 737 MAX examples. The Southwest 737-700 MAX looking really great right there with 2 emergency exits. Kind of crazy, but there we go. And then we have the MAX 10 here for United, looking really sharp. Great shots over there at Boeing Field, I believe. That might be Everett, actually. I think this is Boeing Field, but nevertheless, it's somewhere in that region. So credit to the respective photographers in a very exciting time, and it appears that everybody is on board. Cool Seaboard World container ship aircraft right there. That's awesome. And it's really cool. The math gives us a really great opportunity to really assess our thoughts and, you know, provide pictures and everything. It's really cool. So just certainly recommend engaging with this if you are interested. Link below, as I was referring to. And then a bunch of talk going on here about the 747, because like I said, this is a big one. Here we go into the McDonnell Douglas MD80 to join the show right here. So this is going to be not only the pointed, but also the screwdriver tail cone. So the MD81, MD82, MD83, and MD88 all coming from NG models. This is a big time get for all those collectors. So very exciting right here. I think the most impressive part about this, to be quite frank, is not only that we're getting the screwdriver nose tail cone, but also the pointed. Here's what the pointed looks like, and opposed to the screwdriver. This is really great. I can't complain at all. This is really awesome. Now we have had some various molds over here. Let's see if yeah, so currently the only one that's active is the JC Wings Gemini Jets mold, but you know, subjective, but isn't great and is rarely used. It's certainly a fair assessment. There's some problems, you know, with wing flex and nose shape, so I certainly don't have any problem with that statement. I think it's a pretty fair assessment. So with regards to the MD80, this is a really big get, because this statement really says it best right here. Almost limitless potential for releases in 400 scale, and one that's been barely touched by other brands, even historically. You know, Dragon Wings did quite a few, and even JetX, but generally speaking, there's been a bunch of planes that have not been done with the airlines, including airlines such as Alitalia, SAS, Australian, Finnair, TWA, Continental, Delta Ron Allen, and the list goes on. Colors in Motion also comes to mind for Delta. So there's certainly more than enough. And this is really great because this is the best bang for the buck, in my opinion, with both quality and popularities. So not only is this aircraft going to be a great mold, as NG always does, it's going to be really detailed, and they're going to do a really good job, and their NG's polish just hits different. So not only do you have that going for this, but there's a bunch of popular aircraft that have been done before and also haven't been done that don't quite have that quality standard, right? So the Gemini Jets releases are really good, don't get me wrong, but it's subjective, but the quality isn't as high as you'd see in 1:400 scale at this point in time in 2023. Same argument can be made for even the Jet example. You know, it's a nice, simple model, and it has some good attributes to it, and everything's fundamentally sound with regards to the fuselage shape. However, it doesn't have any aerials, it doesn't have these little details. You know, it's going to be really exciting to see how NG can utilize this mold to its fullest potential, not only with the quality of it, but also with the popularity of the aircraft. So, and again, this is a good time to not neglect airlines such as Alitalia, SAS, Australian, Finnair, all those airlines. You know, it's really important to think about the full scope here, and I think NG is setting themselves up for a big get. Not only that, but the various types here. MD81s are really popular, and the 82, of course, 83s all over the place, and then the 88, also a very common aircraft. I think there was some European airlines that used the 88. Allegiant had the MD88, and this is a big get for NG. I think this is really going to add on their retro diversity, and I think that this is really going to really be a statement here, because obviously, don't get me wrong, 737 Maxes are really great, and the A340s, but the MD80, as Richard said, limitless possibilities with regards to both the quality quality and the popularity. So I'm really excited to see this. It's going to be great. American MD80, obviously the flagship here. So it's going to be really exciting to see what that's all about. And B767 said that my American MD80 total might be up to 20 very soon. So keep your eyes open. We'll be excited to see that. So that's awesome. And I think everybody had a really good reaction to this. Martin is another really good example. Thank you to Mark for sharing that. And he's exactly right. Martin, you know, there's a bunch of good ones here, and it's really exciting to see what they're going to be doing here. So I'm really excited. So 9620 Delta, I appreciate B767 recognizing this. This was the last American MD80 that I flew from Dallas to Tulsa. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they do that. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to have the ego side there and say that they have to do it, obviously, but that would be really special if they did. 984 needs to be done, in my opinion. That was the last ever MD80 built, and obviously for the last American MD80 flight. If they don't do that, come on now. So we'll see what happens. But everybody was really excited. Yeah, Scanner is another really good one. Aero Lloyd. There's just so many. So, I mean, this is a really great choice here by NG, and I think it makes a bunch of sense. So we have some more. Let's go ahead and continue to look at them, everybody. Really great job by NG. How about the MD87 to complement all of this? I mean, it's a really logical addition, obviously, considering the fact that they're already doing all the MD80s. Why not the MD87 too? And it's a very unique aircraft type. I think the latest ones to really be done was the Dragon Wings. Let's see if Richard agrees with me on that. Fulfilling families with less popular variants. Absolutely right. There wasn't anything regarding that, but I think Dragon Wings, as of recent history, was the last manufacturer to really get after it. And yes, he's absolutely right in regards to there was only a few operators, you know, about 20 operators. But, you know, while you're doing all these molds, you might as well just go straight in and get in with the MD87. So I think this is a really good choice for them. It makes perfect sense. And, you know, that's what NG really does well. This is one of their niches in the 1-to-400 scale industry with regards to really fulfilling these very unique aircraft types, such as the 737-600, Airbus A318, MD87. They've really done a good job here, and I think that it really fits them well. And again, especially since you're already doing all the other variants, why don't you just go full in and get the MD87 knocked out? So this is really exciting. I think it's going to be great, and I think everybody's really excited for it. So that's absolutely awesome, and looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this. So plenty of diversity options. Here's a really great picture assortment. Thank you to BUL Gargoyle 77. Hopefully I said that right. Sorry if I'm off, but nevertheless, I mean, you can just look at these pictures and really see all the potential that can be done here with all these aircrafts. So I'm really excited for this, and great work here by NG for encompassing the full scope. So many options. Everybody's super excited about it, and rightfully so. This is a really exciting time. So great job here by none other than NG. And it doesn't end anytime soon, everybody. The Boeing 747-400 with Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engines is coming to fruition. Nice job here by NG once again. It's one of the most popular types out there. I mean, how could you not do it? And let's see, I'm sure Richard's assessment's really good. The last 1-to-400 scale announcement here, like no other, as you can see right here, is the 747-400. It's so exciting. And airlines such as Air Canada, Air China, Air India, China Airlines, Korean Air, Malaysia Airlines, Northwest Singapore, and United. And this is really awesome. You know, obviously very particular with the Pratt & Whitney engines particularly, but this gives them the frame to expand to the other engine types as well. So I think it's a really big get. I'm really excited to see how they're going to utilize the Pratt & Whitney 4000s here on the 747-400. It's just going to hit different, man. You know, I'm really eager to see how they can do this metallic, and I'm eager to see how they'll execute the landing gear probably aren't going to tilt, obviously, but, you know, the aerials are going to look great, and it's just going to be really exciting to see the various characteristics they can get out here with the 747. So, and I think everybody is really excited. Here's some really good examples. So here's Korean Air, Singapore Airlines, Cathay Pacific, Martin Air Cargo. It's going to be great. So, and again, really appreciate everybody contributing here. It's really nice to see everybody getting after it. So that's absolutely awesome. So, and here's a really good picture of the Delta Flight Museum 747. Can't recommend that venue enough to, well, I guess it's not really a venue, it kind of is, but that exhibit enough to visit at the Delta Flight Museum in Atlanta, Georgia. Very cool place. So that's absolutely awesome. And again, really great effort here. So we do have some more, so get ready. They're coming. So as everybody continues to have a good time talking about it, okay, so it appears that we go right into the mold samples. There's one more, and I'll show you here on Instagram, but here are the pictures for the Amsterdam show. And again, thank you to everybody that is sharing all these pictures on here. It's greatly appreciated when we can attend. The power of technology is amazing. So here's a broad look at all the mold samples. So it's really great to see how it's set up. Great job here by Yesterday's Airlines for having his table all nice and organized for us. These 747s we get some better pictures of. That's outstanding. These were previously announced, but obviously it's go time. Here's the MD80 and MD87. They look really good from the casting to the screwdriver nose cone. That's awesome. Great work. 747-200 looking sharp. Love this piece right here. This looks great. This is probably MD88 or MD81 or something. That looks really great. The Airbus A340-200 and 300 looking really sharp. No complaints there, and considering that's a sample, that's elite. There's that 747-400. Really exciting considering that we haven't had a we haven't had a new 747 mold in a while for the 400. So this will be really exciting to see how they utilize this. Sorry that's a little far off in the picture here, but we'll get some close-ups here in a minute, including the Boeing 737 MAX 7 and MAX 10. They look really nice. I love the MAX 7. That's really starting to grow on me. I'm excited to see that come into commercial service. The Airbus A330Neos, again, really interesting choice, but I think that those will end up being pretty good additions for NG, so I'm excited to see how they utilize that. Sorry that there wasn't a graphic on here for it, but the Boeing 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9 in 1-200 scale also get announced in conjunction with the Boeing 737-700, 737-800, and 737-900. So this is really big because this really takes NG's 1-200 line. This makes it real. Like obviously the 757's coming, but now it's starting to get real with what they can do. And if I was Gemini, I would be doing everything I can to iron out my products right here, right now, because NG's going to start coming after them at 1-200. Obviously in the 1-400 market, it's subjective, and we have certainly different types of collectors, but I think everybody can collectively agree that NG has really stolen a bunch of market share from Gemini Jets when it comes to all markets, US, Europe, Asia, everywhere. They've certainly took quite a bit in the market share, and rightfully so. Their products are great. Most of their release choices, they have a bunch of solid ones. Now they're going to come after Gemini 200 with these, and obviously In-Flight as well. In-Flight has a really good product, but that's kind of been a monopoly when it comes to detail for price. Obviously In-Flight 200 has been really expensive. So how can NG do it between the quality and the price balance? Where can we find and what can we expect them to do here? I'm really excited to see, and I think competition brings the best out of everybody. I kind of think of it like football, right? These different teams always competing. So now we have these manufacturers, and it's a really exciting time in the model aircraft landscape. And I really feel like this announcement really contributes to that. We can really look at what the last 5 years have been since NG Models obviously really made their flagship statement in the summer of 2019, and they continue over this pandemic to really enhance what they've done. And the fact that they are getting ultra competitive here, not only with the popular aircraft, but in conjunction with these new molds, I think really speaks for itself. And I can't be any more excited as a model collector, to be quite honest. There was times there when Gemini Jets they did whatever they wanted, and it certainly worked and nobody complained, right? But now that we have Aviation 400, obviously NG Models making their statement, Panda Models making a great run here, and it can't be any more exciting. So let's take a more detailed look at these. So this is just elite, man. I don't care what you say. This is awesome. Just take a look at the metallic green. Obviously, you have the Atlas Air banner, proudly building the 14th 747-8 freighter. I mean, that's just awesome, man. That's so cool. So really great job here by NG. I mean, this is elite, man. It does not get any better in 1-400 scale. I'm sorry, it really doesn't. With regards to quality, NG they're on a whole new level. I don't know how they do it, what they do, but man, it's elite. It truly is, and it's so exciting. Here's the 747-200. Really great casting here for a sample. I see absolutely no problems with it. Again, I don't have perfect knowledge here when it comes to how a 747-200 is supposed to look, but that looks really, really great. Here's some close-up looks at it right here. Solid effort. I mean, it's really, really awesome. 747-400, that looks ideal. I don't see any place to really work on here. I'm sure there might be a couple small details, but I mean, just look at it. And then the winglets, probably the best part of the 400 in my opinion. It looks so nice. Really, really cool. Really great work. It's elite. Here's the MD87. What a cute little stubby plane. Looks really nice. I have nothing additional to say about it. It is ideal. That is literally bomb. Great job. And of course, our flagship MD80. Nose cone looks great. Nose gear looks awesome. The wings are solid. You got the screwdriver tail right there. The engines look great. done deal, signed, sealed, delivered. Just make sure that QC is good, NG, and we're going to be great. 340-300's looking really good. Just take a look at the detail there. The nose cone looks great. The engines look good. The wing root, that's effort, guys. 340-200. This, I mean, just look at the tail here. Not every company does this. This just it's a game changer. It truly is, and it's really exciting to see NG really getting into these details. I think it's the biggest difference maker, and that's what's so exciting here. So everybody very excited about that. That's awesome. It speaks for itself. Really great, and I'm really excited to see what's to come here. Here's the Airbus A330 mold samples as well, and we'll get a nice view here in the back of the 1-200 737s. That's awesome. Really solid effort here. I don't see anything that's immediately staring out. That looks really good. Again, I'm not an expert though, so don't take my complete word for it, but from my general assessment here, this is really game changing right here. And here's a nice comparison on the wings there as well. Man, what an effort. Thank you to everybody that's sharing this as well. Really appreciate it. And also, here's the 747s. Looks like the Amsterdam show was a bunch of fun. Hope everybody that got to go to that had an absolute blast. Certainly on my list. Look at the air intakes on this. That's outstanding. Good job. I mean, it's just the little details. This is on a sample, for crying out loud. That's outstanding. Really great effort. That's awesome. And then, of course, the thread will continue to get pictures added to it. Here's a really good comparison right here of some various 747 molds. Really appreciate this being shared. That's absolutely awesome. Dragon wings examples there. So yeah, how about that? All right. And then we also have apparently the Boeing 767 is getting done. I'm not sure how it didn't make it into the other sample, but it appears that we have a 200, a 300, and a 400. So it's not ending anytime soon. How about this? I mean, it's awesome. Look at the winglets here. You got all the pieces. I don't know why that wasn't in the mold sample. Might as well just completely drop the bomb. But yeah, the 767 also coming to fruition. I mean, so we have the Gemini jets in JC mold, the Phoenix mold. We have a couple others as well, but this is going to bring so much potential as well. The 767 is a very popular aircraft type, and especially that 300 and 200 variant will really provide so many popular airline choices. You know, obviously for the 200 especially, we really haven't had a bunch of good 200s done in 400 scale. In fact, I don't even know if I think I have like 1 or 2 767 200s in my collection, and just now getting my first 767 400s thanks to Gemini jets. But NG's like, nope, we're going to come in and we're going to do a different version of it. So competition's been fun lately, guys, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. This is outstanding effort. I don't even know where you begin with this. And here's some really fun pictures here of the first look at the 747-8. That's a stunner, man. I'm so excited for it. Definitely going to be getting that Atlas, and might even have to get this BOAC Fantasy with how good it looks, man. I love when NG brings out this nice setup for pictures. It's so fun. Just take a look at that, man. That's effort, man. So cool in their angles, by the way. It looks like they're taking them outside. Look at that hatch right there. That's so cool. Man, that is a effort right there. Goodness. And this caption here is really fun, as AS is saying here. Their last are first. That's so cool. How exciting is this, everybody? That is absolutely awesome. So NG Models throwing a complete curveball here at the 1-400 scale landscape, and also the 1-200. We can't neglect those 737s that are getting done, and I'm excited for more pictures of those. And I may make a follow-up video to and NG's bio here. This is what I'm talking about. Make quality, make happy. That's awesome. Really cool. So yeah, it's this is surreal. I think this video really spoke for itself. It's a really special time. I'm really excited to make more videos regarding these topics here in the 1-400 landscape, and also the whole model airplane landscape in general. You know, there's so many cool models out there. We have kit models, we have cutaway models. There's so many fun ones, and I'm excited to cover all of that in upcoming videos. And I can say genuinely, this is the best time. This is the best time to get into model collecting. There's never been a better time. There's so much variety. There's so many different brands. There's so many different faucets, so many different price ranges, and I think that it really speaks volumes of how interested people are in model airplane collecting and how serious it can get, because, you know, I certainly have my fair share. I don't need to elaborate on that. I also have a full model airport setup right there that's worth over $1,000, so it's fun. It's super fun. There's never been a better time to be a part of it. It's a really good pastime, and it's something that I always look forward to. It's something I really like talking about with people, and you can be a casual collector, you can be a serious collector, whatever the case may be. be. It's always fun regardless, and there's so many different ways to look at it, and I think that's what makes it so much fun. And there's certainly various elements to it as well. I kind of like to compare these model aircraft manufacturers to airlines flying routes, right? So you can make the argument that Jet Hut's like Frontier, you can make the argument that Gemini's like United, and then NG's like Delta. It's kind of fun. So I'm really excited for the future. I think it really speaks for itself. We are really fortunate to be in this position. 5 years ago, we wouldn't even have this conversation because we'd only be buying Gemini jets and occasional Phoenix and JCs. So the fact that we're here now is really, really special, and I'm so excited for the future, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. So let me know what you thought about today's video. Really thorough assessment. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop some comments. Let me know which ones you're most excited for, and definitely go over there and check out that math thread. And again, huge thank you to Yesterday's Airlines for covering all this, and also NG for being so cool to provide these samples. And now we have it all to look forward to when they'll be coming out at whatever time that may be. If you'd like a follow-up video going even more into detail once we get the reviews from Yesterday's Airlines, please let me know. I would love to do that as well, but could not help but once the pictures got out to take a look at this. A really special time. We are so fortunate. I am so excited, and I hope you guys are as well. And with all that being said, everybody, that'll do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.